Monday, May 11th. Good afternoon or evening, morning, whatever it is you're watching this. Let's take a look at what we're looking at for this Monday. Pretty straightforward this time around. Sorry. So the world between the wars is that's what I'm looking for. There's a lot of different areas we got to move to. So I'm trying to do this quickly. We'll start to get a little more in depth as we start to get into Europe with a little different stuff. So yes, there's a pear deck. It's the quickest way that I can get you exposed to some important stuff in this shortened time frame. China, Japan, Middle East. China, Japan, their wars. Some people argue that it's the start of World War II. When Japan and China start fighting over Manchuria and other areas in China proper, but the major thing with China is the takeover by the Chinese communists after the fall of the Qing and Sun Yat-sen coming in 1911, and the Chinese nationalists taking over, and then there's a war when the communists end up winning this long protracted war after World War II. It ends up stopping to fight with Japan in World War II, and then starting back up again with ultimately the mainland China and Mao Zedong, Chairman Mao, who really ran the operation, the Chinese operation, and the Chinese are still communist today. Not the way the Soviets are communist, but they still are, consider themselves the Chinese Communist Party. So, Middle East is the story of setting the table for the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and how the Balfour Declaration and the Jews start coming in now that they're being discriminated against. They're being murdered in genocide, which we will get into hopefully before the end of this, and then that's due on Wednesday. Pear deck, answer all the questions. There's one little difference with this pear deck. If you have me for long, you know they added a new feature to pear deck. You don't have to look at my face as much. You can hear my voice. So I explained it right at the beginning of the pear deck how to go in and you play the audio. So I'm not going to do it here because it's right at the beginning of the pear deck. You'll hear me briefly. I explain how to look at the audio. It's a little different now. It lets you do audio per slide. Make sure you answer all the questions to the end. Okay? That's how you get credit. I do look at that. I do say, okay, have you answered every question to the end to get full credit? And that reminds me on this. Those of you who have INs or I told you in private comments to complete or resubmit something because you didn't do it. Those don't count toward your 80% toward the letter grade. They don't. They're not 80%. So, and I'm giving you an opportunity to revise. I haven't seen too many resubmitted. You need to do that. Incomplete assignments for credit toward letter grades. African nationalism is overdue, but you can obviously turn that in. That's a pretty straightforward thing. It's questions in a color other than black in the Mexican Revolution, Ed Puzzle, video notes, and two different aspects to that. Notes that and questions based on my comments on African nationalism during this interwar period in the Mexican Revolution, which actually kind of goes back before World War I and continues into setting up Mexico. Very quick overview on that. Time capsule stuff. So I posted weeks 5 through 7. Talked about that on Friday's video. If you want more information about that, remember these are so each of them 1 through 4, 5 through 7 can replace one of the grades, including one of the incomplete ones. You just have to tell me which one in a private comment. So there's that. Project boards are overdue. That's test grade. That can't be replaced in the Russian Revolution pear deck. That's overdue. So again, fairly straightforward thus far. In terms of, and I'm on first hour. I need to be on second hour. Yet I haven't scheduled the assignment yet. So China, Japan, Middle East between the wars is the pear deck for tomorrow or due on Wednesday. And we'll start getting into a little more heavier stuff probably especially as we start getting into the Holocaust and the Europe between the wars, which is a little more intense as we start building up toward World War II and how the Treaty of Versailles was instrumental in giving rise to Hitler.